Welcome back to a literary journey of Unbroken, the Louis Zamperini story. We're going to do chapter 4 and chapter 5 in this video. For now, we're going to focus on chapter 4, but then stay right there. We'll do chapter 5 right after in this same video. The main themes of chapter 4, the title was Plundering Germany. The main characters were Louis Zamperini, Jesse Owens, the Finland Olympic team, and Hitler. What happened was Louis took his journey to Germany and competed in the Olympics. It was the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. And where this happened was the ship that he was on, the Manhattan, inside the Atlantic Ocean, Hamburg, Frankfurt, and the Berlin Olympic Stadium. So a couple of things we've already done. For one, we've already done place marks. And that's what this is. So I'm not going to really cover that. But this is the Manhattan. This is the ship that Louis set sail on from New York to Germany. He went all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to Hamburg, then took a train to Frankfurt, and then the train all the way to Berlin. In Berlin, this is where most of the story, this is where he competed. Here's the Olympic Stadium. This is what it looks like today. But since this happened in 1940 in such an historic Olympics, that I decided to go get some pictures. And this is what the Olympic Stadium looked like back at that time. And then also, Hitler was in attendance, and there's a picture of that event as well. All right, so what I really want to focus on, and this is his journey, his trip from New York to Hamburg, to Frankfurt, to Berlin. We're going to do that with routes. So let's go to the beginning. Back to New York. And what I'm going to do is add a folder to always stay organized called routes. And his first leg of his journey, I'm going to represent with a path. I'm going to call this Ocean Voyage. And I'm going to choose a color that I think seems appropriate. Maybe this baby blue or dark blue, and make it really thick so it's easy to see. And I'm going to draw a route from New York all the way across the ocean through the English Channel, and then to Hamburg. And we'll end that. And now he took a train from Hamburg to Frankfurt. So I'm going to do a different route, another path, but this one I think I'm going to make orange. And draw a route. Now I don't know exactly the railroad track that he took, but I'm just going to keep this at the macro level just to represent the journey. And call this train 1. And then the last one, another route, another path. Make this one another color. We'll make this one red. He goes from Frankfurt to Berlin. I'm going to call this one Train 2. Make sure you always do a file and save my places. And now I can show you, here's the Manhattan. Here's his trip across the ocean, which a funny story in the book. He actually, in the 9-day voyage, gained 12 pounds on that, because he ate and drank so much with the other Olympic athletes. Then his trip from Hamburg to Frankfurt, where he actually met Jesse Owens. And then from Frankfurt to Berlin to the Olympic Stadium, where he competed. This was a really great chapter. Really fun getting to see Louis as a young man and his exploits, but the fun is about to end after the Olympics. At the end of this chapter, he set his sights on the 1940 Olympics, which was going to be held in Tokyo, and spoiler alert, that never happened. All right, so stay right there and we'll do chapter 5. All right, welcome back to chapter 5, which was titled Into War, which is a good prelude to what this chapter is about. This chapter is less about Louis' journeys throughout the world, more about the world politics that was thrust upon Louis and the transition from Olympic athlete to soldier. So in this case, it's not going to be Louis was here, Louis was there. We need to focus on the world politics. Let's take a look. So 2 main characters, Louis, and a new character was introduced, Jimmy Sasaki. What happened was Louis training for the next Olympics. Louis was doing really, really well. He was approaching a 4-minute mile, which was unheard of. The Olympics got canceled, and Germany and Japan were both aggressing their neighbors, which led into World War II, and then also the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. When this happened was between 1937 and 1940, and the 2 main locations was the University of Southern California, where Louis was training for the Olympics, and then after the attack on Pearl Harbor, he went to Ellington Field in the Houston area to go to basic training. So what I've done is I've put the 2 locations. We got the University of Southern California here, and then also Ellington Field here. But what I want to focus on this time is telling the story within the balloon. So I've put in exactly what you saw in my Word document, the who, what, when, where, that sort of thing. But I want to spend more time when I show my classmates this. So I'm going to use some HTML code to make this more pretty. So, a couple of things. Here's the codes that I'm going to use. This is bold and unbolded. Here are breaks, italics, center, underline, font size, and then a color. So let's use these step by step. Let's take a look. This is how it looks now. Now I'm going to right click properties, and I'm going to start to use this code. Let's first use the breaks. So I'm going to copy that code, come here, and I'm going to put a break here, a break here, a break here, and here. Let's see how that looks. Now you can see I've put little stop gaps so it's easier for people to see the differences between the 5 W's. All right, now I want to bold who, what, when, and where. So I'm now going to come back here and I'm going to copy this code. Go back to the properties. Oops, not there. Right here. Bold, 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 and bold. But now I've got to go back and use the stop bolding code. I go here, 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 and here. Now let's take a look. Now you can see who, what, when, and where are in bold. Now what I think I want to do is emphasize Japanese attack Pearl Harbor. So I'm going to go back to the code, and I think I'm going to make that red. So I'm going to copy the red code. Back to properties. Japanese attack Pearl Harbor here. And now telling it to stop making things red. I copy this. Come to the end. Put this right here. Click OK, and now you can see Japanese attack Pearl Harbor is in red to emphasize the importance of that event. So there you have it. Not every time you're going to want to tell the story by place marks, polygons, image overlays. Sometimes you just need to tell the story right here in the balloon box, and using HTML code will help you do that. All right, thanks for watching. Map your world.